Hello, this is Crypto Neptune, and in today's video, we're going to talk about PRC20 copies and the gold mine that Richard Hart has created over here on PulseChain. Remember, nothing I say is financial advice, only use risk capital, and thank you to those who continue to support the channel. So, PRC20 copies, what those basically are forked copies of any crypto asset you had on Ethereum during 2023. Many of you are aware that PulseChain is a forked copy of Ethereum. So PulseChain is a layer one solution. Simply is a fork. However, if you had assets in 2023 during that time frame, you will have free copies on PulseChain. And he's talking about it here in this tweet. And so it says here, so this coin is up 2.7 billion in 547 days. Ethereum, you might have some of these free coins waiting for you, but few people know about it, which I'd say is proof y'all could benefit from doing some marketing. This is the free DAI on PulseChain, and saying games are cooler when people know about them. Yeah, so pretty much DAI is not pegged to a dollar on PulseChain, at least the PRC20 copy, and that's the whole narrative with the PRC20 copies in general. What they're trying to do is get them all to parity. And the genius that is Richard Hart, this is picking up momentum to be something actually truly special. So as you can see, PDI was way down here at the bottom, way down here at the bottom. And then ever since then, it has just ascended up to a penny. The next step for PDI was going to be 10 cents. And then after that, the next step will be $1. Now, what Richard Hart has done is created a maker type protocol, just like they have on the Ethereum side, but the maker protocol pretty much will be a way to peg it on PulseChain. Since DAI is pretty much pegged to all PRC20 copies, it's just going to full send all of these assets on here. And remember, you will have free copies. You could potentially have some free copies over here. But also, those of us who are already on PulseChain, we've been just DCAing and building our position because there's a potential for just some massive gains. And remember, all you need to do is, if you're looking for your free copies, all you need to do is come to Chain's list and add PulseChain to your Metamask, Rabby wallet, or whatever hot wallet you have, and you should be able to see if you have some free copies, you should be able to see those in there. If you don't, don't worry. If you don't have any, don't worry, because it's still a good time to buy these undervalued PRC20 assets. So let's dive deeper into that. So that's cool here. And if we scroll up on Richard Hart's page, he goes on to talk about all these other assets here. Aave, you're familiar with Aave. You're familiar with Bitcoin, PDI, which we just talked about, right? These stable coins are undervalued and will be pegged to $1. And then all these other assets here that you are familiar with have that potential to do some massive gains. So let's look at Aave. So let's go to PulseChain. Let's just go to Aave. So right now, the copy of Aave is sitting at roughly 90 cents. So it's sitting at 90 cents. Yeah, so imagine scooping up some Aave at 90 cents. So this is like kind of like going back in time of kind of like a pre-sale. It's cool the way this is set up. It's giving you a second chance to get these assets before they run up, right? So imagine it goes to parity and you got a nice bag of Aave. Boom, you're good to go, right? And then the same thing here, if we scroll down and we look at let's go back over the Richard Hart's thing. Yeah, let's look at the Wrap Bitcoin. So Wrap Bitcoin, again, this is another one that is not at parity. But right now, you could get some on PulseChain for $1,633, which is awesome. So imagine getting like a second opportunity to get some Bitcoin. And here's the thing. Here's the interesting thing about the wrapped Bitcoin on PulseChain. There's only 154K of these. So not the original 21 million, only 151K, which leads me to believe this is going to go beyond the parity price of Bitcoin, right? So Bitcoin, the price of Bitcoin is $105,000 right now. Since there's only 154K on PulseChain, this is going to full send. I would not be shocked that it's up above the Bitcoin parity and be valuated even higher. So I definitely got me an extra wrap Bitcoin, went ahead on and got one because I tell you what, like, I mean, why not? Because if it gets to that beyond this price, that's going to be a game changer. So definitely, keep your eye out on this one. And then let's look at Yearn Finance. Let's see if I can find it. If the system will let me. Yeah, it's just kind of moving a little slow. So let's look up Yearn Finance. See if that deletes. Wait for that to kind of pop up. Nothing ever wants to move fast when you want it to. So Yearn Finance is at $54.98. So literally $54.98. And if we go here to look up the current price of Yearn, here's Yearn Finance. Current price is $7,618. So imagine getting that at $54. This is nuts. This is kind of like the opportunity and that second chance. And these PRC 20s have the gold mine potential here, as Richard Hart, remember, with his past track record with Hex, it did all of these freaking X's out of nowhere, and it changed a lot of people's lives. And once this SEC case gets dropped, and I fully intend on, I have full confidence that it's going to be dismissed. He's going to be working through the process of getting these assets to parity. But again, we want to also on PulseChain, we want to make sure people are aware of this opportunity so that they can come over here, and if they want to DCA, they can DCA in, or simply if they got some free copies that they're not aware of. That's just like Richard Hart has literally given you a gift of these undervalued assets that could potentially full send, and you don't even know about them. So that's why we're talking about this gold mine today. But that's cool there. And then there's just all these other assets here. So you get the point in far as how that's going. Now I know Richard put something else out too. Did he put something else out, or was it just this? Yeah, he's just continuing to mention, hey, these are free coins for millions of Ethereum and ERC20 folks, by the way. Yeah, so he's continuing to go on that and let people know the opportunity of a lifetime and for you to make some nice gains. And let's see, let's go back. Let's go back to top volume. Let's see if I see anything else. Yeah, we talked about DAI, but I think the big narrative is imagine having a stable coin that is not parity, you being able to pair it to $1 with it, which is PDI, pair it to $1, They've set up the collateral vaults. They're working on that in the background for this to essentially get to and be stable. And that's exactly what's going to happen. And the opportunity potentially to earn some yield on Pulsex. So we have to keep that in mind as well. Now, you're probably wondering, okay, if I were to come on to PulseChain, how do I bridge over to PulseChain? You have a couple of different options. You can use Coast. You can come here to Coast and set up an account. You potentially add like a bank account, debit card, and go from there. Now, if they don't have your bank, then another way to kind of do it is you can use something like Change Now. You can bridge whatever asset you have into PulseChain. So, let's say you had some Bitcoin, and you want to swap it to Pulsex or whatever asset you have. On the next screen is going to say, it's going to ask you, where do you want to receive your PLS? What wallet address do you want to receive it in? You put that address in, and on the next screen is going to be a QR code. On that screen, you're going to send the Bitcoin to that address. Give this maybe like 3 to 5 minutes for it to complete, and then you'll see that PLS dropped in your wallet, right? And then once you do that, you can come over to a place like Pulsex and swap into kind of whatever assets you want. Just make sure if you don't see the assets that you want in here, you can always add the contract address from Deck Screener. But pretty much some of the top ones that we talked about, the wrap Bitcoin, that's down here, which could be above parity. We talked about DAI, which is the PDAI, which is the stable coin, which could get to parity. I don't know if they got Yearn in here. Do they got FYI? Yeah. So for Yearn, you would have to go grab the contract address, boom, and then import it in, which is fairly easy. Same thing with Aave. You would have to do the same thing with Aave. So essentially, in this video, that is it. Richard Hart has created a gold mine over here on PulseChain, which are the PRC20 copies, and they're performing well. And with this new crypto administration coming in from the government concern in the US, a lot of these assets are going to perform pretty remarkable. And with all the positive factors happening with crypto, and then Richard Hart getting his case dismissed, which we are pretty confident that's going to happen, everything is just going to be a crazy 2025 in my opinion. So I want to thank you for listening to this video, and thanks for stopping by.